I'm Matt Collier, and I'm blind.
I'm Landon Bryson, and I can't smell.
That's not right.
The Senseless Podcast.
Okay, that's a little bit better.
Much better.
So, my name is Matt Collier, and I cannot smell.
And I'm Landon Bryson, and I am blind. So fun.
So fun.
So fun.
So, a little bit of background on this. This is the Senseless Podcast, and my buddy Landon and I here have been kind of chatting and hanging out recently, and figured out that, hey, I don't have a sense of smell. He doesn't have the sense of vision.
Woo-woo.
So we decided to, hey, let's talk about the questions we get asked all the time about our inabilities to do such things.
Yes.
And such was born the Senseless Podcast.
The Senseless Podcast. We're very proud of our name.
Yes.
Actually, it was his idea. But I'm still proud of it. I love it. I love all that it stands for.
I appreciate that, Landon. You're my big cheerleader there. All right, so let me start off with a question for you, sir.
Okay.
When did you become aware of your blindness?
So it's a really intense story. I was looking in a mirror and I saw how beautiful I was, and I just couldn't take it. No, my real story, I was about a few months old, and my parents kind of realized that I didn't crawl on the ground to follow my mom like most babies did. And so I went to, the hospital, and we did all sorts of tests like this. And at age 5 was when I was declared legally blind. So it took me a little longer to learn how to talk, and now I do it so much more than I should. And it took me a lot longer, to kind of figure out how to walk, because I couldn't figure out how to walk. I couldn't see people walking, so I had to learn how to I think I learned it around 2-ish. I had to get up on my feet and just do it, and that's kind of when I realized, whenever I was declared legally blind, I was like, this is a big thing. But
Sure.
It's okay, because that's when I figured out I can't see, was when I started, I guess, making goals in general. And I'm going way off subject, so we're gonna move on. What about you? I'm curious.
When did you become aware you couldn't smell?
So, first of all, by the way, it's called anosmia, which is a really weird name, anosmia. I feel like that sounds much...
Do you want to hear mine?
Yes.
Leber's congenital amaurosis.
I like anosmia. That's a big mouthful there.
Yes, it is. It's like German or something.
So then that's going to be a question for next time. Where did they just come up with blind?
Gotcha.
So when I first found out, so I'm a child of kind of the 80s, born late 70s, grew up in the 80s, and all my 80s people out there, where you at? We had sticker books, okay? We collected stickers of all sorts, puffy stickers and googly eyes stickers, and there were these things called scratch and sniff stickers. So my sister, who's a little bit older than me, picked on me all the time. So we were working on our sticker books, and she said, hey, smell this one. It smells like blueberries. And so I'm like, and I put my nose up to it, and I'm like, there's nothing there. I thought she was messing with me. And she's like, no, try this one. This one's like orange. And so I realized, I thought she was picking on me, but then I realized I can't smell those. And so
Wow.
That was kind of crazy. That was probably the first time. I was probably about 5 or 6.
I was going to say, how old were you then? That's a really, what's the word I'm looking for? That's a really kind of, I guess, not big way of finding out something big like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It was something as small as a sticker, and that's really cool to me.
As small as a sticker,
As small as a sticker. That's really cool to me. Wow. Okay.
All right, I got another question for you.
Okay.
Are you able to see anything?
I can see these bright lights of this camera. They really hurt my eyes. I can just see light. So blindness is kind of, I guess, a spectrum in itself. You know how there are different There are different types of blindnesses. So some people can see directly in front of them, but they can't see side to side. Some people do not have eyes. They have glass eye replacements. Some people have eyes, but it's just totally dark, like they can't see a thing. And my condition is also different. So some people have worse LCA. That's the abbreviation. They have worse LCA than I do. They have better. So I'm kind of on the worst side of it.
Okay.
I can only see lights, like I said. I can see, the lights that kind of shine on, so I can see outlines of people. But I could never tell you, hey, you have blonde hair. Hey, you're bald. You have blue eyes. I can never tell you that. That's not something my amazing brain can pick up on. So,
okay.
It's kind of just stuff like that.
So people, if they were to come up in front of you, you would kind of be able to tell they were there?
I could tell that they were there, usually. I can kind of tell when someone's waving their hand in front of my face.
Sure.
But it has to be really close. Like they can feel my breath on their hand. And at that point, I'm just like, dude, back up. You're not supposed to be in
for
my
real,
space.
like in the bubble.
Yes.
I got you.
Okay, so question for you.
Is there a food you wish you could smell?
Probably steak and cheese sandwiches, I think. That's probably like a Philly steak and cheese is probably my favorite
Really?
food to eat.
I would have thought it would have been like something chocolate. Like
Yeah,
chocolate chip cookies type
and I guess
thing?
maybe that would be. I've been told that chocolate has a smell. Part of the enjoyment of chocolate is the smell itself. Like it
It
gives
does
off,
have a really good smell.
and so that helps with the enjoyment of the taste. But I mean, I like chocolate, but probably not as much as smelling people.
Yeah.
I do wish I could probably smell a steak and cheese sandwich. Would be a good one.
Yeah.
Lots
Sounds
of
good.
mushrooms, peppers, onions,
Yeah.
cheese.
Makes sense. I don't like 3 out of the 4 of the things you just listed, but
Well,
if it goes
nobody's
for you.
perfect.
Yep, nobody's perfect. Exactly.
Oh, I got another one for you.
Okay.
Are you able to cry?
I'm a real man. So no. Yes, I am definitely able to cry. I cry a lot about geometry and my brother, and mostly just geometry.
Which brother?
Connor, because that's who I share a room with.
Oh, yeah.
But it's okay. He's a lot better than I give him credit for. I'm just dramatic. But I can cry, and I do cry, so yes. Yes,
Okay.
yes.
So it's you have tear ducts.
I do
It
have
has
tear
nothing
ducts.
to do with the eyes
Yes.
necessarily.
They definitely work.
Okay.
I have been there. I was there. Trust me, they work. Okay. So I have a personal question from me to you.
Sure.
I'm just wondering, and this might sound a little weird, but I'm just going to go with it.
It's all right.
How do you taste?
Pretty good, actually.
Did you just lick your arm?
Might have.
So glad I didn't have to see that.
Yeah.
I don't know. I kind of wondered if they were connected, like the taste and smell parts
Sure.
of, the glands and the taste buds. I kind of wondered if they were, kind of linked or connected in some sort of way.
So that is a question I get asked a lot. Like, how do I taste? So I usually just kind of joke around and I'll lick my hand as a joke and watch their face kind of. It's kind of like you. Did you just lick your hand?
Yeah.
My answer though is I would assume I taste things differently because again I was born this way. It's not like I ever had a sense of smell. So I'm assuming that the things I taste are going to be a little bit different than somebody who can smell. Again, because they are connected from what I've talked to certain doctors and they say a lot of times they're connected. So I really don't know what to really say other than, my kids are kind of used to telling me things that,
Right.
they didn't quite understand it at first. They were real little, so they would ask me like, "Oh, Daddy, smell these flowers," and I would just kind of like, "Oh, yeah, they smell great." But,
Yeah, that makes sense.
Because trying to explain to them,
Especially at a young age.
they're going to look at me like, "What are you talking about?"
That's what my sister's 5, and or one of them, she's 5, and we've been trying to explain to her like, he can't see this, he can't see that. And she's a lot better about it now, but when she was a lot younger, she used to be like,
Didn't quite grasp that.
yeah, she'd be like, oh my gosh, look at this stuffed unicorn pet, or look at this bear. And I would just be like, Lord, forgive me for lying. And I'd just be like, oh my gosh, that looks great.
Yeah.
That looks so cute.
And at that point, that's kind of what I did
and
too.
I'd just be, yeah.
I mean, now that they're older, they get it.
Yeah.
So sometimes they'll say like, "Oh, it stinks," and I'll say, "Well, tell me what it tastes like." That's my closest way to understand what something would smell.
Yeah, definitely.
So they'll try to find a way to describe it, and then usually it's pretty accurate, and I get an idea.
That makes sense.
Of what it could smell like.
Yeah.
So.
Gotcha.
Do you sleep with your eyes open or closed?
Wouldn't really know, because I'm kind of just sleeping, and it's like I'm not feeling my face while I'm sleeping. I'm not looking in a mirror. I guess the only people who would know are the people who are like in my room watching me sleep, and that's a little creepy. I would assume I sleep with my eyes closed. I do try to close my eyes when I go to sleep, so I would assume so. But I think the only people who would know are like my parents or my brother.
Well, let's ask Connor. Connor.
Yeah.
I need you to spy on your bro.
We need you
here.
to
just sit up
be
one
a
night.
stalker.
What is he doing? Does he sleep
Look
with his
down the
eyes
bunk
closed?
beds and just tell me in the morning, hey, you were sleeping with your eyes closed and you look stupid. Just tell me something like that. It'll be easy, and I'll give you my answer.
Okay. I like that. That's good.
Good. Okay, something that I'm sure you've been asked, but I'm kind of curious too.
Mm-hmm.
Is anyone else in your family unable to smell?
That's a good question.
Yay, I love having good questions.
Yeah, that was great. It's not scripted at all. My father actually is unable to smell. He was born that way. His father is unable to smell.
Really?
But what's curious is he has an older brother who can smell, and he has a twin sister who can smell. So it must be a male recessive
dad
trait.
joke?
Yeah, a dad joke that just went bad.
Right.
But
went bad.
I guess I got that recessive trait that only goes to the male side. I don't know. It's really strange because my mother and my sister are both like bloodhounds. They can smell anything. And my girls both can smell very, very well. And
Right.
my wife can too. So it's kind of ironic too because the male colliers, we all have a very large nose.
Yeah.
And it's kind of, the irony of there is that we can't smell.
Do you have any other physical traits like that I
Unique physical traits? I'm pretty muscular.
Oh, okay.
Like a bodybuilder, I have lots of big muscles.
Yes, that
since you
explains
asked.
so much. Yes, because like I constantly. Okay, that explains so much. I totally get that now.
Yeah. All right, let me end with this one. I think.
When you dream, what do you see?
I basically see the same that I see in real life. So just light and outlines. And if you want a real quick dream of mine that I remembered, because it's traumatizing, I was in the Hunger Games, but it wasn't like a Hunger Games. Exactly.
Yes.
Oh, I'm so proud of you. I was in the Hunger Games, but it wasn't like an arena. It was the middle school gym. So I was there. For some reason, Taylor Swift was the referee.
Ooh.
I know.
Sorry, Swifties, but
If she was in the Hunger Games, she'd come out on top.
no,
Not gonna lie.
No.
Anyways.
She'd be the first one I'd go for.
Oh my gosh. Okay, we're just gonna hate her. Okay, we're gonna move on. She was the referee, but for some reason she was a really old woman. I don't know why. I guess I was listening to too much Taylor Swift. But anyways, no, I had memorized the gym because I have to memorize where I go to school for obvious reasons, so I don't get lost in the woods. And I hid under the bleachers and I used a baseball bat. It doesn't matter, but
What?
it was the Hunger Games. What am I going to use? My hands?
That's true. It is very violent.
I was like, am I going to use a gun? Well, I guess hands work. But am I going to use like a lawnmower? No. I'm going to use...
That would be pretty brutal there. Okay,
Yeah,
so baseball
we're going to
bat.
move on. Yes,
Yeah.
anyways, my point was I can see basically the same in real life that I can in my dreams. It's the same. Does that answer your question?
Yeah, I think it does.
Okay, I have one more question for you.
Okay.
What's it like hearing about all sorts of smells? For example, fair food.
Question. You know, a lot of times my kids, my family, you know, or even my students in my class will say something smells good or bad or whatever. The pleasant smells, though, I think, to hear about them, you know, yeah, of course I feel a little envious at times. You know, I would like to, because those things taste really good. I like fair food. I like the popcorn and
the funnel cakes.
Funnel cakes with the strawberry topping.
So good.
Oh yeah. So that tastes good. I wish I could smell those things. But on the flip side, I don't have to deal with, you know, people that don't shower, you know.
Right.
So like right now, I don't even know if he's showered or not.
For the record, I have.
That's
so
good.
I'd say shower. Yeah.
I don't have to deal with other unpleasant types of smells that I hear people talk about a lot of times.
I get you.
It can be. It's a catch-22 because you know,
So
maybe we'll
like,
save that for another time. But I almost like blew up the house one time because the gas stove. Yeah, I didn't smell it and it was going.
Definitely something to talk about. Yeah, pretty good answer. I was really kind of interested about that. That really kind of piqued my interest, I guess. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But like, you know, it's kind of the same for me. It's like, on the plus side, I don't have to see, I guess, pictures of things. I don't have to see people's ugly faces. I don't have to see people's faces and then go blind because they're so ugly.
Yeah, I'm attractive.
Are you?
Yes.
I wouldn't know. But on the minus side, it's like, I'm not going to be able to drive. I'm not going to be able to do a lot of things as easily as a sighted person would because I have to have accommodations for them. And that's fine. It's just something that, you know, I've come to terms with it. It's not like I'm going to wake up, you know, unless a miracle happens, it's not like I'm going to wake up one day and get my sight back. So I have to come to terms with knowing, okay, you have accommodations, you can do this stuff even if it's not as easy. But there are always going to be times when I'm like, oh, I'm not going to be able to do that. That's great. You know, and it's just kind of, I guess, hits you where it hurts, but you know what? It's fine. It's good. Because that means that you're still, I guess, doing your best when you have those moments.
Absolutely. And, you know, that reminds me of something you said in your most recent blog post, too, which, by the way, if you have not been to BufordStinger.com, go check it out. Look under the people category and look for Landon's Light. This is where he talks about his experiences, seeing the world in a different light than we do. And I think it's a really good way to get his perspective on things. So I encourage you to go check that out. Also, you know, one thing you just said, you know, you feel like you have this inability, but Landon is amazing. If you guys have not heard him sing or play several instruments, he is by far one of the most talented people I've ever met in my life. So I encourage you to listen to him sing, listen to him play whenever you get that chance.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that. And while we're handing out compliments, I just want to say thank you for pretending that you're muscular. No.
How did you know that?
I just,
Somebody
I can
tell you?
see, man.
Somebody told you ahead of time.
But in, you know, all seriousness, I do really appreciate you giving me the opportunity to write that blog and to really share my experiences with others in that way. Because not everyone, people who want to tell their stories don't always get their stories told by them. And so I'm really grateful for the opportunity and I really appreciate it.
Absolutely, man. So just as a reminder, we're going to be doing this as often as possible. So we want to hear from you guys. What questions you have for Landon or myself about the non-smelling things? What is it you want to know?
Definitely.
Send us some questions and we'll be on here the next time cutting it up, joking around, and answering those questions for you guys. How can they get a hold of me?
If you want to send some questions, you can email Matthew. Wait, is it Matthew?
Yeah, Matthew.
I'm sorry.
It's okay.
Matthew.collier@lcsd.k12.sc.us.
Amazing.
Or something about contacting the Stinger, right?
Yes, we do have a contact tab on the Stinger, BufordStinger.com. You can check it out there.
Okay.
What else you got?
I think we're good. I think we've senseless out today.
Senseless.
Senseless out.
That was not your funniest joke.
Oh, well. I don't know. I don't know. I'll figure something out.
Now senseless behind the scenes.
All right. me get my coughs out. That's one of the.
Yes, because I plan on making you laugh a lot today.
That's,
And also, don't hold it like this.
yeah. Actually was kind of funny because you had it up there, and in the middle of the show.
Yes, you just like moved it, and I was like, okay. So it's Thursday for Halloween. I'm dressing up as a sighted person, but
That's awesome.
this is my Yeah.
Okay.
Sighted person costume. You need a driver's license.
Oh, that would be good.
I need a fake driver's license. Being like, guys, I'm a taxi driver. I'm gonna drive you places.
Now that's
That's what you.
I'll know.
Taxi driver.
I'll know that we're about to crash when I hear you scream. So, but I feel like, am I looking at it? Do you think?
Yeah, you are absolutely.
Okay.
Just look toward the light.
Look toward the light. Yes, that's my one calling. Okay.
All right, you ready?
Ready.
Do I look okay?
Absolutely.
Okay, good.
Muscular.
Muscular.
Okay, let's do it.
All right.